Dude, it has been a day, okay? This is one of those rare afternoon videos that I hardly ever make, where I almost always record in the morning, and today I just feel like I need to share this, and if it resonates with you, great. As I said on the last video, and that felt really good, like, these are my stories and none of it means anything about you unless you decide that it does. So with that, I want to talk about a pattern that I am spotting within myself that I have definitely seen before, but I am having more clarity and like palpable emotion around it today, and I still feel very raw emotionally, so we'll see what we get as we start moving through this video. I'm just gonna feel my way through it because I don't think I'm the only one that often feels the need to shrink, hide, or turn invisible, or any other synonym or similar style of behavior that you want to add on to that list. Mute myself, downplay myself, devalue myself. I mean, like, the list goes on and on and on. And I would love, dude, the fucking perfectionist in me would love nothing more than to come on this video and be like, here's how you solve it. Step 1, 2, 3. That's not where I am. Like, very much in the middle of it is where I'm at. So just so you know what you're getting with this video, like, this is not somebody coming to you like I have all the answers and like I whipped it in the booty. No, it's like more of a sparring match that I'm going back and forth with, but I'm at least got some points on the scoreboard at this point. And so, yeah, like, I'm starting to feel like I'm at least hanging in there. And so, yeah, shrinking, hiding, and turning invisible. This is a pattern of mine that I'm noticing because I was called to do this like free retreat. And if you're not already on my like newsletter mailing list, I highly recommend you get on there because I share regularly like the free things that I find that like are free opportunities for self-development and healing. And I was in one of those and felt this full body yes to sign up for the coaching program that was being launched as a part of this free retreat. The free retreat itself was like friggin' life-changing, and I have no doubt that's why I was a full body yes on signing up for the actual program itself. And the program is a group coaching program. And so in addition to like the material, the curriculum of the course, there's also like a very active community as part of that. And I thought, how, at the beginning, like, this was my thought going into it, was like, how fucking cool, like, I get to meet other people who are like playing at this level and like investing in themselves like this, and you know, like prioritizing their healing and their development, like, as they're, you know, like investing that much in it. Like, how freaking cool, I could make friends like that from all over the world. And right, like, those are the women, it's a women's group. And so like, those are the women that are in that space. And the first like couple of weeks, I made several posts in the community, and like, and it's not even like on Facebook or anything like that. Like, it's not even on social media. It's on like a completely independent platform, like all by itself. So like, it's nothing like that as far as like, I don't even want to get in there because Facebook sucks. Like, we're not going down that road. No. It was like, I made a few posts at the beginning, and this last like week to 10 days, I have really pulled back. Like, I don't get in there. I don't look at other people's posts. I haven't made any of my own posts. And up until today, I have been very in the dark on like why am I doing that? You know, like this is what I wanted. Like, I want to make these friends. I want to get to know these people. I want to like network and connect with other people who are doing this same thing. Like, there's tons of coaches in there. There's tons of healers. There's tons of like entrepreneurs. Like, that's who's in there. These are my people. I found my people. And I'm not going in there? Like, what? And like, this is the root of what I really want to talk about, is like that like push pull, when you say you want the thing and then you actively like move in the other direction from where the thing is. Like, look, I know what I want. It's right there in front of me. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn around and like walk in the other direction. Like, what the fuck is happening here? Like seriously, what is going on? And so I have made like, you know, this much progress past that point. So again, just so you know what you're getting in this video. And actually this week in the program, like the curriculum is like one new module unlocks every week. And so this week's module had a section on adaptive behaviors. And basically what that is learned self-protection. And so like, when we're children, things happen, like no matter who you are, big T trauma, little T trauma, like doesn't matter. Like, things happen that hurt you and caused you to feel unsafe, like you were not safe. And so how did your psyche, your personality learn how to keep yourself safe in those kinds of situations? And one of they gave like a list of like 12 different adaptive behaviors, and like, which one of these do you recognize in yourself? And I'm like, how about all of them? But I did like really identify with one of them that's called hyper independence. And so again, this is very much what I want to talk about, of like, what is that and how is that protective? Because I think, you know, there's so much out there that I've seen, and possibly there's like a whole world of healing work around hyperindependence that I just haven't tapped into yet. And if you know of such a place or creator or whatever, like, feel free to leave that stuff in the comments. But I see a lot around like codependent, and while I resonate with that, it's like kind of paradoxical. Like, how do you resonate as codependent and hyper independent all at the same time? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, welcome to my world. Hyper independence is essentially like the opposite of codependent, where like, I want to depend on no one. I want to be impacted or influenced by no one. And to really understand that, I had to bring in another concept that I learned that is called the honesty under the honesty. Because I can say I'm hyper independent, and I can say that like, I don't want to have to rely on anybody. Like, I can say that, and maybe you can too. Maybe you relate to that. But like, why? You know, like, finish this sentence. Like, it's scary to rely on someone because, like, or it's scary to be seen because, like, all of this is coming out of the first pattern that I recognized of like, I'm shrinking, I'm hiding, I'm turning invisible in this space that I really wanted to be in. Why am I doing that? And it came back to like, you know, peel the onion, right? Like, layer after layer after layer. It's like, I'm hiding because I don't feel safe, and I don't feel safe to be seen. And like, it's not safe to be seen because, like, what's the honesty under the honesty? Like, what's really driving that behavior? And that's where today I was able to get into like a recognition of what's under that is some really deep, very fresh still and sharp pain from my childhood, where being seen meant being attacked. And like, fortunately for me personally, the attacks were like verbal, which, dude, it's all relative. Like, words are knives too. And I don't want to diminish my own, because I don't want to diminish anybody else's who's relating to this. So I don't even want to get into like, well, this one's bigger and this one's small. Like, dude, pain is pain. And what I was bringing up was like this negative attention, that like when I'm seen, I get this negative attention, and I have this, like, up until now, I have had almost no capacity for any kind of negative feedback or rejection. And I go through that sometimes, like even on my YouTube channel, where like I'll get a comment that like whatever, and it will like really upset me sometimes, like for way longer than you would think, considering I don't even know this person. Like, it's just a random person on the internet saying words, and like it can be really upsetting. And the thing about that, and what's coming to mind, is like, I've said this so many times lately, and it's sinking in today in a new way, of like, all judgment is self-judgment. Okay. So like, that person's words can't upset me if I don't already on some level believe that that's true about myself. Okay. And that's what really stirred all of this up this week, is that I was digging into my core beliefs, and like the core beliefs that we hold about ourselves mostly got formed before the age of like 8 years old. And some of them maybe after that, but often like even the stuff that happened after that was really just like a fractal of what happened before age 8. And so like these core beliefs that I hold, and how many of them trace back to I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not athletic enough. That was like a really painful one for me, because all three of my brothers were super athletic, and I was like the lone baby deer, like still am, like can't walk on her own legs kind of thing. So like, yeah, like I'm not enough. And last night I was unraveling that, and it was really interesting because it wasn't coming up that I'm not enough. Like these core beliefs, they present in really interesting ways, because what was presenting itself was like, you know, if you've been watching Money Buddy on the channel, I've been actively working on shifting my relationship with money and my money beliefs and my money story and like all of that. And in the pursuit of manifesting money, like that's why I'm doing that, because I want to manifest more money. Okay, let me just be abundantly clear. And in the last week, I have manifested 2 sums of money that brought up this. It was just, again, so paradoxical, because you get the thing that you wanted, and I had the response both times of it's not enough. It's not enough. And it's like, number one, where's the gratitude? But that's like really judging on myself. But like, basically it made me really curious, especially the second time it happened, because it was even more money the second time. And I was like, it's not enough. I need more than that. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on here? And that got me like digging into like, what is this? Like, and what I ended up coming to on the money thing. And like, you could think about this as like, you know, you have a review with your boss and they give you like some good feedback, and you walk out of there thinking like, oh, that went well. And an hour later you're like, well, I'll bet they gave, you know, Susie Q more feedback, and like, you didn't even mention this project that I did. Like, you're back in not enough. Okay. So like the not enough game can present itself in many ways, many facets. And it just happened to be with money for me this week. And so it got me thinking, like, not enough for what? Like, it's not enough money, but like, not enough for what? Like, for what? And as I tried to answer that question, as I tried to like dig into that, I was like, oh my God, like, it's not enough to make me feel like I'm enough. And that was freaking eye-opening, because that's not money's job. And like, in The Way of Integrity, Martha Beck, she talks about one of her clients that like took his company public and made like $250 million in one day, and calls her like drunk at the celebration party and is like, it's still not enough. Like, when's it gonna be enough? And I've heard that story. I've listened to that book many times, and like, I've heard that story many times, and like, never until today did it really sink in with like, right, like, it's not enough money, because it's never going to be enough money, because money can't make you feel like it's enough. Praise from your boss can't make you feel like it's enough. Followers on YouTube can't make you feel like it's enough. On and on and on. Like, recognition from your parents, like, can't make you feel like you're enough. When that void exists inside of you, like, there is nothing in the external world that's going to fill it. And that makes me feel a lot of things. Mostly anger that the void is there in the first place. It also really breaks my heart, because I know there's a lot of people that relate to this whole like, I'm not enough game. And how do we learn that? Like, same as the adaptive behaviors, and which, by the way, like, the other kinds of adaptive behaviors are like, perfectionism is another one that I see running rampant in our Owning Authenticity community, and that makes total sense, because I myself am a recovering perfectionist. Overachiever, hello, like, queen of that club. Workaholic kind of goes along with that. Like, these are the binge eating. Oh my God, like, mindless eating. These kinds of behaviors are what we learn how to do to protect ourselves. Like, overachiever, like, I'll just get another A. I'll just win another ribbon, and then I'll be enough. But like, the thing is, and this is why I call myself a recovering workaholic, a recovering overachiever, is that after chasing that for decades, I was like, it's never enough. It's just more and more and more and more, but never enough. There is no enough when it comes to like external things filling that not enough void inside of me. And so that's where I really pivoted about 8 years ago. And you see how still in the middle of all of this I am. So I hope that like helps anybody feel better of like, dude, like, the whole game we play of like, why haven't I figured this out yet? Like, so relatable. Layer by layer, we peel the onion and we recognize the patterns we can, you know, like that non-judgmental self-observation, like, keep paying attention to yourself, like, keep wrapping yourself in acceptance as best you can, so that yourself will continue to reveal to you. Because the whole thing about shrinking, hiding, turning invisible, like, yes, I saw it because I was pulling out of the community. I was shrinking away from the community. I was hiding from the people in my community. I was turning invisible as far as they were concerned. But that's actually misleading, because the real person I'm hiding from is myself. The real shrinking I'm doing is inside of myself. Like, when I turn on TV and then watch like 14 episodes in a row, like, that's not me hiding from anybody else other than me. And again, that's where like non-judgment plays such a critical role in this, because it would be so easy to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why don't you just do something different? Like, blah, 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 blah. that's where, again, like I go back, like we just keep looping through these of like, this is self-protection. Okay, like the only reason we're doing the adaptive behavior is because we don't feel safe. That's why. That's why we hide. That's why we perfect. That's why we overachieve. That's why we binge eat. That's why we carry extra weight. Like, that's why we sabotage our relationships. Like, that's why. We're protecting ourselves. And why do we protect ourselves? Because we don't feel safe. And so what is the answer? Is it to show up anyway, to like muscle through, to power through? I don't think so. I think you can. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Like, we all have free will. But like, I do think that the answer is creating safety inside of yourself, to create a relationship with my own inherent worthiness. Like on the group coaching call today for the program I'm in, the coach was talking about how there is nothing you can do that's going to make you more worthy. There's also nothing you can do that's going to make you less worthy. Like, you're just worthy. Like, that ship has sailed. Like, you exist. Therefore, you are worthy. And so to like chase and chase and chase so that you can get the thing that's finally going to make you worthy, like, that's an illusion. To hide away from the criticism that will make you less worthy, that's also an illusion. And that's where like I'm kind of like seeing a little bit more clearly through this pattern of, what am I really hiding from? What am I really, like, when I turn invisible, when I lean out of that community, what is it that I'm avoiding? Avoidance being an adaptive behavior. Like, what am I avoiding? And I'm avoiding having my own belief in my own unworthiness brought to my attention. I'm avoiding my own self-judgment. And I have reached a point, and like, again, this is only my story, but like, I have personally reached a point where like, I don't want to avoid my self-judgment. I want to heal my self-judgment. I don't want to avoid my unworthiness. I want to dissect it and reprogram it. And I want to know in every cell of my being that I am worthy, period. And that is clearly such a work in progress for me, but getting there every single day. And how do we do that? We notice our patterns. We notice our patterns wherever we can. And, you know, I don't think it's an accident, the things that we feel called into. Like, my full body yes to join this group coaching program. And I did that because I was so excited about the curriculum and like making new friends. And this pattern kind of like smacked me upside the face of like, why are you running away from the thing that you said that you wanted, that you like invested good money to have? Like, why are you doing that? And so like, it also kind of puts into perspective, like, you know, the things that we feel called to, like, for example, like, you know, feeling called to being an entrepreneur, or feeling called to like being an author or a dancer or a painter, like whatever, like it doesn't matter. You feel called to do it. And it's like, well, why do we get those callings? And this is just a theory, like take it or leave it. But like, I feel like the things that we get called to, that like we have full body yes response to go there and be there, it's for us to find our way back to our own wholeness. It's like the disinfectant that will remove the gunk from our perspective, right? Like the coach said today, like there's nothing you can do that's going to make you more worthy, and there's nothing you can do that's going to make you less worthy. And so really all it is to like know your own worthiness is to get the splinters out of your perspective that are keeping you from seeing that you're already there. And so that is very much where I am today. That is, just like a big circular, like a crown of realizations that I've come to today. And maybe it helped you. Maybe you want to leave some reflections in the comments. Maybe you want to like the video. Maybe you want to subscribe. Maybe you want to get on my newsletter mailing list. Maybe you want to head over to my website and see about all the spaces I host. Maybe you just needed to hear this today, and maybe it helped you to see that you're not alone if you're feeling any of the things that I've described. And regardless of what brought you here, I do hope that you will take such good care of yourself, and so will I.